afternoon or morning or night, depending on when you're watching this. But I am back to share what's in this binder. Recently I shared the children's new math curriculum, and two of them, math lessons for living education, which was purchased solely for the handwriting aspect, and because the children, the 4 and the 5-year-old, enjoy storytelling. So but they also use Texas Math. If you watch the curriculum video for this year, you will see that. And for the older ones, Purposeful Design ACSI is their math curriculum. I know a lot of you had never heard of it. Again, go check out the curriculum video. I will link it, and you can get a look at it and check out the website, and you can download samples and all sorts of things. But they were also using Texas Math. It was a smooth transition, and Texas Math is going to be or Purposeful Design is going to be math straight across the board from here on out. But I shared the little ones recently doing some activities, and I did get some inquiries on a couple of the things that they were using. Those things are in this binder, and what I'm going to share with you is, yes, it's nice to have a curriculum. Math is one of those things that you have to you know, it's pretty much lateral. You build on it every year. But you don't particularly have to have a curriculum. There are a lot of things that you can do in order to help the child learn the concepts without a hard and fast curriculum. Following your state guides and things like that, depending on who's, you know, in and out, or who you have to report to. I know sometimes you have to have something solid. So, hence we have actual math books, you know, just in case. But a lot of the things that we do, those books are just a stepping stone. They're not what we use every day. We do a lot of other things, a lot of hands-on, and those things actually help the children grasp the concepts and actually remember those concepts and apply those concepts when they're using those books. So I'm going to share with you all what is in this binder, but there are some other things that are not in the binder. They are elsewhere in the room, out and available. And because I haven't shared the room tour, they really won't make a little, you know, they'll make a little sense, but not a whole lot. But you'll see them. Once you see the room tour, you'll see where they are in the room. So I'm going to share these little things, and we use these things, you know, on a daily basis. And they're things that they can just grab and go. If I'm working with somebody and I want somebody to work on some math and not, you know, particularly a lesson in a book, I'll say, here you go, take this and have a seat. And they may do 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see in just a minute what I'm talking about. But and sometimes we use them as a group. Everybody will sit down and we'll have something like this. My little whiteboard sheet. We use these more than the actual whiteboard because they're right here on the table. I like to be with them rather than away from them. The board is on the wall, but I laminate these little sheets all the time. Sometimes plain, but yeah, these come in great handy. So let me show you. Get rid of that. What we have here. All right. We have a scale. I have shared the scale. I'm not getting ready to show it now, but we do have a scale with some nice weights and things like that. And I do recommend having something like that. Okay. You can find them pretty much anywhere. Any school supply, Lakeshore Learning, or Amazon, or eBay, or something like that. eBay is really good. When you pull up math manipulatives, you will end up with a lot. That's how I found that one, with a whole bunch of weights. The weights alone were $30, I think. So, yeah. And I didn't even pay that much for the whole set. It came with weights and weighted money and all sorts of things. But anywho, these resources that I'm going to share with you are all free on Teachers Pay Teachers or elsewhere, and I will share. If I don't share, leave me a comment, because some of the things are not printed on the actual material anymore, but I can find it because it's in my Teachers Pay Teachers account. So this one, I said, a little weight challenge. I will try to include some clips. If not, it'll be in a separate video. I cannot remember if I shared them using this, but yeah, the two little ones mainly. The big ones, no weight, but it's still fun for them. They do other things with weight. But these little task cards, 2 crayons, 1 pencil. You take out the objects. You know, look at the cards, lay a couple of the objects out, and let them work with those. And see, this is something they can do on their own. Put the scale on the table, put the objects on the table, and let them take the cards, and they can do it. So I can work with somebody else. So they're going to figure out which one weighs more, which one weighs less. Really, really nice. And then if they're anything like my kids will take all of whatever. They'll get 5 pencils and put 5 pencils in. You know, 3 blocks or 3 dice, and put 3 dice in, because they're inquisitive like that. Let them do it. Let them explore. Okay, so there's that. These are on a little ring. Like I said, they're elsewhere in the room, and I will share in the tour where they actually are. I needed something not in a pocket chart. I have a love-hate relationship with flashcards, but that's basically what they are, and we have a ton of them. So I did laminate those. Pretty much everything on the table is one thing not laminated, but it's because there's a lot. But you don't have to laminate the stuff. These are you can use these 2 ways. You can give them a dry erase, or you can give them the you know, the counters. A lot of times they try to work these out mentally, which is fine. If not, you give them some counters. These are the translucent. We also have the 2-sided counters. But again, the same thing you would see in a math curriculum. Basic addition and subtraction. I just like the little pencils on there. So this is what they work through. Okay. I think next one is, I like the little fonts on here. This is Snowflake. So, and they're out. They're not just, you know, per theme, per year. I just have them out. But that one happens to have the same thing. Addition and subtraction. And I have multiples because sometimes I want 2 of them to work on the same concept. And so I have 2 sets of whatever. You'll see that a lot. With 4 little kids, you want to have doubles of some things. And you see these are a lot higher than, higher number than the first set. There's 12s in here, 11s. So you want to have something like this. And then, let me turn these over. These math skill practice cards are really nice. Start at 86 and count up to 85. If you have a number chart, all the kids have a number chart. We started with 1 to 100. They graduated. Now everybody has 200, I think, or maybe 250, but that's in their daily binder. You can give them the table, the chart, the 100 chart to start, and then eventually you want to take it away and let them work it out on their own. Add 100 to 50. Challenged an older one, add 200 to 50. You know, make it your own. Skip count by tens. That's how the little one, the 4-year-old, learned to skip count. If you have a nickel and 5 pennies, how much money do you have? Give them some little monies and let them work on that. Here's telling time. What time is it? Subtraction. Time is it? Missing number. So they're working on missing add-ins. Fraction. How many minutes are in an hour? Odd or even. So all these concepts they're going to learn and have to know in a math book, math curriculum, adding double digits, and let's see what else, subtracting double digits, and then how much is a quarter worth is in that one. So the next one, let's see, we'll go on to this one. This one is money. And so they are to circle. You can give them the coins, but really you don't need them. And that's the reason why I picked this one. I don't feel like picking up coins, or, you know, because sometimes they miss a coin when they're picking them up and putting them away. I just give them the cards. And they will take a dry erase marker. And if you don't have a dry erase marker, take a manipulative, a counter, and cover it up, a bean. I have these little gems you can find pretty much anywhere, or go get some rocks from outside. You know, you don't have to have the little pretty stuff, but again, we do have the coin. So, and I think in this packet there's a mistake in one of them. The answer is the mistake, and I don't know if I ever fixed it, because I think I laminated it before I caught it. But the kids know when they get to that one, we know. I think it said something like 13. It's supposed to be 31. So, I don't know. But there's that. So, of course, it's going to get progressively harder. And there's that. These little things I really love when you want to teach them graphs. Graphs are very important. They have to learn how to read different kind of graphs, pie graphs, pictographs, all kind of graphs. And this is actually, I shrunk these, okay, so you don't have to have, you can have them big. I needed them small because I don't have all that space. How many children choose cats? And they look at the graph and they answer all the questions. This one is a tally, so they have to learn how to tally. That's also very important skills. Kindergarten, first gradish. Another tally, flowers in the garden. And then this is just a charts just to show them the different kinds of graphs. Line graph, line plot, coordinate grid. Okay. These you want to do probably late first, second grade. Mystery number. It's going to give them 4 clues. They may need 1 clue to figure out the answer. They may need 2. They may need all 4. And this is very fun, and sometimes we'll just sit down as a group and do these. This number is between 10 and 20. It is an odd number, so they're learning even and odd. It has a 3 in the ones place. They're learning place value. It is 15, take away 2. Okay, so this last clue said it is 34 doubled. Okay, very good, high order thinking skills. The logic, I love the logic in these. So anytime I try to, you know, I find things like this, I take and use. So you will see a lot of that in the binder. These also, these are multi-step math problems. I have seen these things at Lakeshore Learning in kits, $30, $40, $50, $60. You don't have to buy all of that. I've printed these off, and there's probably 30 of these. Cindy had 18 pieces of candy. She ate 6 pieces in the morning, 4 pieces in the afternoon. How many does she have left? If they cannot do that mentally, that's where this comes in. You help them, show them how to, you know, how to work it out step by step. Again, this is kind of upper level, but these were from Teachers Pay Teachers. So there is also, this is addition and subtraction in here. So here's another little set. This one talks about feet and a garden. So this one is money. Carol ordered 2 pizzas. The pizzas cost $14 each. She gave the delivery person $40. How much change does she get back? So you have to sit down and think. And like I said, you don't have to give them all of these in one day. Give them 1 or 2. Let them get the concepts down. Okay? Because they really have to sit down and think about this. Is stuff we have to think about. Okay? So outside of the curriculum. And also we have, start them out on this, skip counting cards. They also have a skip counting chart in their daily learning binder. That 2, 4, 6, 8, or 3s, and so on. But we also have these, and precursor to multiplication. I don't teach them that, hey, let's learn to multiply, you know. They are doing it organically. They have no idea. I just say sit down and practice this and read through this. And then when they're introduced to the concept in their actual curriculum, they already know how to do it. Okay? 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3. So really fun. And I like this one because it goes all the way up to 12 times 12. Sometimes you can only find up to 10. And yeah, these I use the STEM laboratory a lot. These are not in a binder because I just use them loosely a lot on the table. But this is a good thing to include. Also, skip counting. I like the font, the colorful, you know, 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3. They're thinking skip counting, but it's actually a good multiplication chart. Okay? And later on, once they learn, you teach them how to write the equation so they can recognize the equation. But if you do it step by step, just don't overwhelm them. Show them the numbers, and then you show them what it's for, how to put it together. You know, just like introducing a plus minus sign. 3 plus 4, you say it, and then eventually you show them the signs and the symbols, and they get it. So, it's really cute. Oops, we have some that are upside down, but get the point. Alright, now let me move on to the binder. Alright, so in this binder, this is the original binder I started with. And some of this, if you all have been following for a while, you will recognize this is the same stuff, and I would take this stuff and lay it out as a center, but as a math center, but I have added lots of things since. So this is one of my favorite little things from one of my favorite people, this Reading Mama. This is a couple different leveled sets. This is level 1, numbers 1 through 20. And these are actually cards, but again, we haven't too many cards, enough cards, and so I like them just like this. And you teach them to write the number. They trace it with their finger. They're going to visually recognize one object, and they're going to recognize the word. Okay, so that's really why I chose these. I just like the font, and then they have the word. Okay, and there's a couple different sets of these. I'll show you the difference. And this goes up to 20. Alright, the next set. 1, 1, 1. So, if you have in your room dice, we do, they will recognize. And then they get the one with the finger and the one with the butterfly. Okay, very good to have. Let me show you the next difference in these. When they get to 11, they're going to get the 10 frame, and they're also going to get the tallies. Okay, you want to keep some popsicle sticks, you want to keep some cubes. Okay, very important. We also keep the, you know, teach them the date and things like that in their daily binder with the tallies or number of the day. If you do that type of thing, it's really good to do. I know sometimes it gets repetitive, but some children actually need this. So, very, very nice. Alright, let me show you the next little set. Again, that goes to 20. Skip 10, 20. Okay? 10, 10. Money, 10. 5 plus 5, there's the equation. 10. So the older ones really enjoyed this. 30, 40. 50, 60, and so on. 80, 100. Just recognize the 100 frame. And again, the words. If you're teaching place value, again, those are really, you know, if this is all you had, this little packet does a whole lot of teaching right here. It's a whole lot of learning just in this page, these couple pages. Okay, 50 plus 50, your doubles. Alright, so moving on. These are, again, old for us. We have little Lakeshore Learning animals, and they're actually used for counting. So I'll take the panda bear, give them the panda bear. This is help the panda find more bamboo, draw the path. This is in a sheet protector. They're going to start at 1 and count up to 100. So basic 100 chart. They're actually above this, but this is where we started. So they would take the little object. If you don't have an object, give them something else. The panda, if you don't have the panda, give them something else. And just, you know, it's good for them to have something tactile in their hand to move around. Okay. And then this one is dinosaurs, and this one is up to 500. And I just did it on Astro Brights because it just helped me distinguish the different numbers. This one is count by twos up to 200. It's a polar bear, so really cute. Polar bear and a penguin. This one, the kindergarten, let's see, 2011 it looks like. The light is bad in here. They're going to work with the counters or shapes or whatever and just visually discriminate, and you can have them make patterns here. Add 1, add 2, add 3, add 4, add 5. You know, that's math. They don't get that they're adding or they're subtracting, but that's what they're doing. So I just like the simplicity of this. And then here's one with the shapes. If you have the shapes. If you don't have the shapes, put it in a sheet protector and let them draw it. Okay, so there's that, and you get your 2D shapes. So very good to have things like that on hand. And then your colors. Alright, next part, you get to build a number. Very good. Like I said, if you do a number a day or something like that, I just throw up some numbers up here and let them, you know, pick the number, and then they're working on their place value. You can always add. This isn't a sheet protector. If they get to the hundreds, add 100. I have other things that do that, but I'm just, you know, giving some ideas. And then show them the equation. Let them write out the equation. Money sorting, grab a handful of coins and let them sort. So you grab some coins, keep some coins, whether they're real or, you know, the fake ones, and just let them sort. I think I have a couple of these things because, you know, with a couple of kids, everybody wants to do it. So this came from Teachers Pay Teachers. And this is just a whole part mat. And we keep these all around. The kids have whole part mats in their daily binder. Some of these I have in a stem bin. We do stem bins. But these are really fun. They are to take however many shapes that it says and build that. For a small one that cannot read, you would just give them, lay out the amount and let them build it. Tell them this is what they're building. Okay. And so obviously they're going to, you know, they have to figure it out. But some of them will get the concept that they have to fill up the hexagon with, you know, the different shapes. And they're going to do all of this, manipulate and try to figure it out in order to fill it up, and eventually they'll get it. Okay, great brain building skills. But yeah, some of these are cut up, but keep those in here. And then we have this little mat, this little packet. Mainly took this one for the little one. Say it, count it. Again, put it in a sheet protector so you can reuse it. This came from Learning and Teaching with Preschoolers. If you don't have the sheet protectors, you can also put a piece of tape where you need to write, and it does the same thing. But they are basically rolling the die, and you know, you write the number there. Put that, and then here's a different version of it. They're going to roll, count, and write. So they roll a die and they count, and then they write the number. And then another version, you have the addition problem. So they are to roll one number, two numbers, and the answer. They'd be able to do it mentally. If not, give them some, you know, little counters or something so that they can you know, count, or even, you know, build it like that. But these are good to have in here. There's a black and white version with more of them. So I like that, you know, there's color in black and white. Normally we just use black and white, but I do like the color ones sometimes. Different little images, you know, because those things grab children's attention. Alright, these very also old for us, and I remember I had a lot of inquiries on them when I shared them. But these get progressively harder. There's a whole set, and you take these little things. We have all the little different colors. A 2-year-old can do this, okay? And they're making the pattern. You know, teach them to name the pattern: yellow, white, orange, orange. Yellow, white, orange, orange. If they can go on, let them go on and build it higher. However, you know, until they stop, until you run out. And you see they get longer. They get longer with more. This one is a more or less. So they would take one of these little cubes, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and they would discriminate which one is, you know, which mat is more, which mat is less. And then you can count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's your math. You don't need the, like I say, you don't need the curriculum. Use, you know, it's basic. These are laminated, so you can write out the equation. And there are a ton of these. So, you say you don't have to laminate. You can use sheet protectors. Some of these are not laminated, but there they are. Then I have a couple of these. What shapes can you use to fill the triangle? So obviously, the first time, they're probably going to start with a triangle, and they're going to use all triangles. And you have to, you know, fill it up. Also, challenge them. Give them different shapes. Okay? And let them try to figure it out. And then eventually they're going to have 4 different pictorials of filling up this shape. So what they used. So this is just a maze, and my kids love mazes. It's a little book I found, and I liked this, so I would give them the little camel figure, and the camel would go to water. Obviously, it's for a very small child. Again, this one is with the bananas. This also, and it's turned this way, and I think it has kindergarten. There we go. kindergarten.com. How many ways can you fill the hexagon? So the same thing as a triangle. Obviously, they're going to use a hexagon for one of them, but then you want to get them to use different shapes so that they can, you know, discriminate. And my kids know, hey, if I take 2 of these, then I can, you know, or if I take 5 triangles, I can fill this hexagon up. So, you know, when I am working with somebody else, that's the reason why I use these things. They can do these things on their own. And a lot of this stuff is jumbled in the binder because we pull it in and out so much. Alright, these, same place as the, let me do a quick flip, these. Okay, we have the objects, and my kids love mazes, so they would take the little figure and go through the maze. If not, take a dry erase marker and let them go through the maze. And there's different animals in here, so it's a nice little packet. Maze, Mr. Printable. We love Mr. Printable, especially his maps. He has very nice maps, so we use Mr. Printable. Clock, and you know, they're learning the clock. Even though they don't realize it, they're learning the clock. Here are the hands on the clock. Here's a rainbow. If you need some cartoony stuff, you can find all kinds of mazes. Oh, mazes. Alright, the Measure Mom again. We have Race to 10, so you would take what they're doing. I will play with them, or somebody else will play. You're going to roll a blank die, label 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And for each number you rolled, you're going to put a manipulative up to 10. Okay, first person that wins. And then, or whoever gets to 10 obviously wins. And then here's one, Race to 20. Same thing. Okay, so you have to program a die. And we do that a lot. This one is actually programmed for another game that I shared before. But we have a whole 12 of these, so yeah. And this one is Fill a Circle. Can you fill a circle with squares? This one is a lot more challenging. And these are actually not the squares that they use, but it gives you an idea. These are the ones from Target. So, and we know that, you know, you cannot fill a circle. Child does not get that concept. They're going to try, and you know, this is a good, this will give you a good 30 minutes probably if you need some time. So basically they use the wood shapes, but this is another one. So they're going to try, and that's what you do, and then eventually you show them, you know, that you really can't, because obviously a circle is round and a square has edges. So, more mazes. This is a road maze. Give them a little car and let them, yeah. Spider web maze. Another Help the Bunny. This one's a little more intricate. Help the bunny find a carrot. So actually there are 3 objects and 3 outlets, but the bunny has to find the carrot. Okay, so this one's a little more in depth. This is something I made a long time ago when I purchased these. Specifically for this, they're working on area. So they have to fill the little shape with these. And so it's just something fun for them to do. And on the other side is towers. They roll a die, whatever number they select or whatever number they roll, they will take. If it's 2, they will put 2. If it's 6, they will put 6. So, and you can put whatever number you want if you want to do skip counting, but just something you can make on your own. These Super Source, we use Super Source plenty. And with the pattern blocks, you're going to, you know, let them make the pattern. My kids love pattern blocks. They love these, and so I had to find a lot of activities that have to deal with these. So we have a lot of these. This is a basic little fish, and I know it's upside down, but the other ones are not. So I just was in a hurry the day I put that in there. Okay, here we go. Pre-kinders. This is a caterpillar, so they're going to take all the, you know, the shapes and build the caterpillar. My 4-year-old, she will do the whole pack. Okay, this whole book is full of these, and she wants all of them. Some of these are laminated, some of them are not because there's so many of them, but obviously they get harder. Okay, these are great for math. Okay, this one is how many ways can you make a hexagon, and it's colored. Pre-kinders. Fish outline. Okay, here's the rest of these. Like I said, there's a ton of these things. There's probably some more. Let me flip because there's something else in here. I'm going to show you. Alright. Play-Doh to Play-Doh. Okay, roll, add, and cover. So they're going to roll 2 die. They're going to cover the sum with the pattern block. Okay, so if they get 11 in a row, and then you can again put it in a dry erase and let them write how many at the end, how many trapezoids, how many rhombuses, and all of that they used. Okay, 2 kids can do this, or you can do it with your child, or they can do it alone. There are several of these in this little packet, so I thought that was fun. Again, you can take some tape and cover that up so they can write on it. So, again, whatever I can find using these, that's what I go for because that's what they like. But you can put whatever you like in your binder. Alright. Suta, these have the patterns. If you don't have the patterns, you can cut these out, laminate them, or tape and just cut them out. They still work the same. But if you have the patterns, you know, you can, and we have smaller ones, so obviously that's really big, but they will fill in the patterns with these. These are always fun. So I just do a couple of those. These are with attribute shapes. Plane shapes, quadrilaterals, which really helped the 2 7-year-olds because they learned about quadrilaterals. They knew the shapes already. They did not know the term quadrilateral. So they used the attribute blocks, you know, the thick and thin. With these non-standard quadrilaterals.
Can we have a snack?
Some more of these. Like I said, when we go through here sometimes they get put back in here, just not all in the same place, which is fine. But yeah, they're all in one place. That's my thing. I don't have to go searching through wherever just to find them. Alright, in the little ones math curriculum, I shared the whole part math. These did not come from Teachers Pay Teachers. They came from the Teach at Daycare curriculum, the CD curriculum that I shared with you all last September. You can check on eBay. You can check on her website. And on her math curriculum disc, that's where I get a lot of the printables from because there's just so much. But these whole part mats. The kids also have a set of these. There's 2 sets in their daily binder so that they have their own because these are very valuable assets. So they're learning the missing number. So they will write in the missing number. And it's a whole little stack in here. And then here they have both numbers. This also helps them with the writing. But that is where those come from. And then I have another fun little word problem. I just like because it was math around the world. The first stop is in Africa. 2 elephants are bathing in a river. 4 more elephants join them. How many are bathing now? Okay, they have a little workspace. They put their answer. Dry erase. Give them some manipulatives. And let them go for it. They're going to France. They're going to Italy. They're going to New York City. They're going to Australia. A little bit of geography in the math. Disney. They're going to Antarctica. They're going to Spain. They're going to Germany. They're going to China. Niagara Falls. And I think I have a clip of this somewhere. Egypt, Alaska, Rio. They're going out to sea. Pam saw 2 fish in the water. Nick saw 5. How many fish did they see? So addition and subtraction, and then they create their own problem to solve. And this one is fun because, you know, they create their own, and they'll tell me, oh, we're going to so and so, and they write it down and work it out. So really fun. And then here's some more 2-step word problems here, and then they have a space to write it out, work it out. Okay, and then we have Teach at Daycare again. We have some of these on our, actually in our big pocket chart. I did cut them up, but some of them are not. So word problems again are very good, especially in a group with sometimes brain breaks. Morning time, I just grab them and say, hey, let's just work this out real quick. Let's see what we can get. And it's fun. So they end up doing more than I really want them to do. And that's the idea. Make it fun so they don't realize that it's actually, you know, let's sit down and do some math. So there's math. Let's see, subtraction. And this is where they came from on the disc again. This is addition. And these came from PlayDoh to PlayDoh. Okay, so teachers pay teachers, or PlayDoh to PlayDoh. Sally's sister, and you have the 10 frames, gave her 5 gumballs. Her brother gave her 7, and her grandma gave her 12. So multi-step. So this is why they have the 10 frames. So you know, they can put a little dot for each gumball, and then they count them up. This is to 20. So my 4- and 5-year-old work on these. And there's a whole stack of these. On the other side, I put the subtractions. Okay, so next we have beginner word problems. Grayson has 3 marbles. His friend gave him 4 more marbles. How many marbles does he have now? So they get to draw it, show it on the number line. So you teach them how to use number line. We have other little things, again, outside of this binder, but I'm not including those in the video, but we do use those. You might have, you know, seen the kids using them, so that they understand how to, you know, get this concept. But this is here, and then they're going to write the equation and then the answer. So several different ways to work it out. Black and white, basic. It's a whole little stack of these in this packet. It's very thick, and it's not on here where I got it from, but again, if you leave me a comment, I can pull it up on my Teachers Pay Teachers account and link it. So addition and subtraction is there. And then again, we have Teach at Daycare is also Annette at Books and Bubbles Family Care. These are Clip It cards. Didn't want to do the cards, so I kept them as mats. But they are identifying, so I start them off with money. They're just going to identify how much, you know, and then they learn the cent symbol. And she says you can use clothespins or dry erase markers. So these are not laminated. They're just in sheet protectors, but I did do them in color so that they can see. So another good thing to have, you know, outside of these, because sometimes I don't want to pick all of these up. I find stray ones all the time. So this is what I do. And then we have the dollars in here. There's a couple in here in this one little sheet. And then we have fractions also from Teach at Daycare. So they are, you know, they've been introduced to fractions a long time. She has a nice little unit on fractions. So it's another little fun way to introduce fractions. Like I said, the other things we use, like file folder games and things like that, there are other things that we use. But this is cute, so I included this. So if you're, you know, you have a child that is this far, you know, you want to include some things like this. It didn't have to be this, but think about the concepts that you're covering, and that's basically what you want. And because there are 4 of them, you know, everybody's kind of working on different concepts, but with this binder, all of them pretty much grasp all of it. I can use the whole binder for all of them, and they can pick it up really easily. So there's that, and that is actually the end. The rest is actually original, what was in here. Like I said, I started with 1 binder. I think now I probably have about 10 different binders. I don't know, but this is has nothing to do with math, but you may recognize this if you've been following us for 3-4 years. This stuff is still in here. It was for this visually discriminating letters. So yeah, they would take the little magnetic letter and cover up, because they like ladybugs, and cover up the letter. That's what's in there. But again, hopefully this was helpful. Leave me your comments, your thoughts. If there was anything that I did not include, or you think there's something that I can help you with in the way of putting another, you know, type of binder together, I may have it. Let me know. If not, I may be able to tell you where to go for the resources, because I know that's a lot of times you all are needing the resources, and I know of a lot of resources and a lot of things I don't use because I just don't use them. A lot of things I haven't shared because I just don't have time, but a lot of things, I find a lot of things and free, and it's just that we don't need it, but somebody else may. That's the reason why I like sharing these, because I see that there is an interest, you know, at least, you know, so many people will say, oh, I need this, or where did you find this, or where did you find that, just from this one little, you know, these resources in this binder. So again, thank you for bearing with me. I know it's kind of all over the place, but I will be back sometime soon. I will leave you some links, some iCards, if you haven't saw them already pop up, but I will leave some iCards up. Check them out, and I'll be back and share this tour so that you can see, because math, so I did something special with math, and it's very with this room, and it's very much needed. It's very much used every single day. So I haven't really seen it, not that I was trying to see it or mimic anybody. I did it on my own, and I found that it was very helpful. But I think you guys will enjoy what I did. It's nothing, what am I trying to say? Nothing, it's nothing spectacular that anybody could not do. You know, anybody can do it. I just don't think anybody's really thought of doing it the way I did it. Okay? If that makes sense. Y'all know I'm going to share. I am going to share. Trust me, I'm going to share it. I just want to help you all. But yeah, because it's, you know, when you have, you know, where do you put all this little, you know, it becomes massive. And so I found a system. That's it. I have a system of where to put all this stuff and how, and it works, and it's pretty. I like it. So organization, that's what it is. Organization. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. It's Friday, and I need to chill. Thank you. See you in the comments. Thumbs up and subscribe.